Good morning. In today's session, we'll try to discuss about XML source. XML source. It is an object used to read the data from specified XML document. It is an object used to read the data from specified XML document. So basically it is providing a metadata to read the data. How your AngularDB source, ADO.NET source, flat file source, Excel source. Same way, it is also one object which supports to read the data from XML document. So what is XML? Extensible Markup Language. So this XML document consists elements and attributes. You may build an XML document with the help of elements and attributes. But XML document means it's basically it is representing maybe a data, but for that you should have some sort of rules and regulations how to define that XML document. For validating the specified XML file, we'll have some validation file will be there called as DTD and schemas. So XML file can be validated with the help of DTD or schema. So DTD is again a separate file. A DTD file will say it may be an internal or maybe external document type definition. And for schema we'll have a file with an extension XSD. Now your XML source will demand the validation file in the form of schema document. XML source will demand for validation file in the form of schema document, that is .xsd file. So if you want to work with an XML means you should have two documents. One is an XML file, another is schema document is required. Two things you need: .xml file, .xsd file. Two things are required. For example, if it doesn't have an XSD file, then you can generate it also, not a problem. It supports to generate schema document. So you can create this file being within the XML source. So this, what is this validation file means, basically it will explain about what are the elements XML file should consist, and what is the data type of each element, maybe what is the range of the element value, what is the length of that element value, whether that element can be repeated or not. If it can be repeated means how many times it can repeat, what is the minimum occurrence, what is the maximum occurrence. All these set of things we can specify with the help of XSD file. So already in my system already generated some files employee.xml. This is, I'll open in a notepad. So this is my XML file. So here I'm having an element called as an EMP. That EMP is having a child element called as employee number with a value 101. Same way employee name, salary, commission, department. All these are the child elements of EMP. So EMP element is opened here and it is closed at this location. Same way I'm having one more employee details. And finally that is closed. The root element is employees. And here if you observe, I represented one XSD file. Means I am saying that this XML file should be validated with respect to employee.xsd. So this employee.xsd file is telling under EMP what are the elements should present, whether this EMP should be repeated again or not. Same way, what is the ENO, whether it can be repeated or not. What is the data it should consist? It should have a numeric data or it should have a character data. Same if you take key name, whether what type of data type it is, how many characters it can have. These type of things are explained with the help of employee.xsd. So in my system, I defined that file and this file is looking like this. I'll open in the notepad. So this is my file. I created something called as an employees, and I'm saying that it is having something called as an complex type sequence. After that I created something called as EMP. I'm creating one element called as an EMP and I told that minimum occurrence is 1, maximum occurrence is unbounded, that means infinity. Under this I specified that I'm having some elements. What are the element means? Employee number I told, and I'm saying that it is an integer type. Same way I'm adding one more element called as an employee name, and this employee name, what is its data type means? I'm specifying it is character type. And what is the length of that particular element? So here I said that maximum length value is 10. So this is what about employee name. Once the employee name is closed, then I added one more element called as an salary. This is my salary element. It is an integer type. Next I'm adding a commission that is integer type, and I'm saying that it can have a null value. Same way I'm having one more column called as a depart number, which is of integer type. So like this I defined some sort of rules and regulations. Based on this I'm creating an XML file. So this is an XML file what I showed it to you. So if you make any changes in the XSD, it may not allow to execute this XML file if it is not fulfilling all that validations. So if you want to open in browser, you can open this file. If you double click on employee.xml, usually it opens in a browser. It is looking like this. So I'm having a root element called as an employees, which is validated with respect to d colon employee d colon data employee.xsd. So it is consisting 2 employees. What is the first employee data? Expand that first EMP. It's showing this is the data. Same way you can expand the second employee. So here I created some XML file as well as an XSD file. So I'll try to use these two things in my data tools. So this data I want to put into the destination. So create a new package. and I'll rename this as an XML source, reading data from XML file. Drag the data flow task, double click on it and choose the XML source. Double click on this XML source. Here we are having different types of options are there. Do you want to use a variables or only file? So I am choosing a file. Click on browse. Select your XML file, employee.xml, open, and here you want to know what are the columns are there. So you want to click on the columns tab on the left side. It is not possible until you tell your schema document you cannot go for columns node. It is not possible. So if already some XSD file is there, means click on the browse and you select it. If it is not there, click on generate XSD so that it will create an XML file. So that not XML file, XSD file it will create, so that that file you can use it. But right now in my system already XSD file is there, so I'm using it by clicking on browse button. Browse employee.xsd. So my XML file is employee.xml and validation file is employee.xsd. Click on columns and these are the fields you're having: employee number, employee name, salary, commission, depart number. Now check the data types. What is an output column ENO is there? Its data type is DTI4, means it is an 4-byte integer. ename, it is showing me as WSTR, means it is an Unicode. But if you want to write into OLEDB destination, that should be non-Unicode, so you should transform the data. You have to convert it. But is it possible to change the XML source? Means no. Your flat file source will support to edit the data types, but whereas your XML source will not support it. So you should place one data conversion, with the help of that change it and then carry to the next level. So click on OK. So if you want to change all the data types, means you can change it, because everything is showing as an integer, but you want to tell as a numeric, you convert it. For ename you convert as non-Unicode. Click on OK. Then go to the common, take the data conversion, link your XML source to data conversion, double click. Now I am trying to add all the fields. First field ENO, I'll change it as a numeric. Second one, I'm changing it as DTSTR with length about 10. And salary I'm making as a numeric. Commission I'm making as numeric. Depart number also making numeric. And what are the output names? Means it should be copy of ENO, copy of ename, copy of sal. If you want to use the same names, you can use it, otherwise you rename them. Means this one I'll change as DC underscore ENO. Second one I'll say DC underscore ename. Next one I'll say DC underscore sal. Next one as a DC underscore commission. Next one I'll change it as DC underscore department number. But is it a mandatory to change these names? Means no. So click on OK. After that you try to do your required business logics, but right now I want to put into the destination. So I'll take other destinations, OLEDB destination, link this data conversion object to OLEDB destination. Double click on this, new, choose the destination connection, OK, specify the table, that is tgt underscore emp. Then select the mappings node on the left side and map the columns. Here it is taking the columns like e-name, sal, commission, but these are the source fields. But actually I need to map the transformed or changed data types what you have changed. Only the new columns I should map it. So I'll choose DC of ENO. Next one is DC underscore ename, DC underscore sal, DC underscore commission, DC underscore department number. So the new columns what you generated through the data conversion, those columns are mapping here. Then click on OK, save it, and then execute it. So in the XML file, how many records are there? XML file, when you are executing in a browser, it is showing me that there are 2 records, 101 employee, 102 employee. So these 2 records should come into your database table. So we'll check that. First of all, I'll make my destination table to be empty, tget underscore emp. My destination table is empty. So when you execute it, XML file is having 2 rows. Those 2 rows should come into this place. We'll execute our ETL package. File menu, save all, start. It is executed and it's showing clearly that 2 rows are given to data conversion, 2 rows are given to OLEDB destination. So if you check it in the target table, those 2 records we got into the target table, into the destination table. So we have read the data from XML document and we have passed it to OLEDB destination, but if required, in between this we can do some business activity. So only thing is, to read XML document data, we need to have a validation file, that is schema document with an extension XSD. So if you're having these 2 things, XML file and XSD file, then we can read the data from that particular file. Thank you.